that I got you in on it. I like that's not right. I thought it was supposed to be 8, Bobby.
Well, good morning, everybody. This is Bobby Harvey. We are heading east on Amtrak's California Zephyr. We are in between Mount Pleasant, Iowa, and Burlington, which will be our next stop. We are running about an hour and a half late, which is not too bad, all things considered. We're paralleling US Highway 34 as we're in between New London and Danville, Iowa. Going at a steady 79 miles per hour. Hopefully making up for some lost time. I am on my way to Galesburg to do some filming for some future video projects. The makings of a very nice day here in southeast Iowa. Now currently we're on the lower floor of the cafe car. We'll be heading up to the top pretty soon here, probably once we get past Burlington. And then Galesburg will be the next stop after that. This is US Highway 34 that we're paralleling right now. And as you can see, we're going just a little faster than the cars. Top speed on the highway is 65. Top speed on the railroad is 79. And my guess is we're doing all of that right now. As we approach Danville, the next town we'll breeze through. See, the highway kind of branches off over there. This is the old highway that we're paralleling right now. It heads straight into downtown Danville. So I haven't been through Danville by car in quite a while. And this is Danville, Iowa. So welcome to everybody that's watching the stream. Been a while since I've done one of these. Keeping pretty busy after Mount Pleasant, after the old Threshers reunion.
632, you up? 632, you up?
And for anybody out east watching, waiting for the California Zephyr today that might be tuning in, there are a pair of new ALC 42 locomotives trailing on today's train. 2 P42s up front and then a pair of the new Chargers behind that. So if anybody's out there along the tracks today towards Chicago, be on the lookout for that. Normal consist behind that. But again, there are 2 new Chargers, 3rd and 4th out on today's train. As you can see, the farmers are starting to get all the crops out of the fields. It's harvest time. It's in full swing here in Iowa. Mostly cloudy today. And it's finally cooled down for the first time this fall. Temperatures in the mid to lower 60s. Nothing above that in sight. Next town we'll pass through is Middletown. There's the highway bypass around Danville, just coming back up to us now. Get in the trees here, and we'll see Middletown shortly. And here we are, Middletown, Iowa. And of interest off here, which we will see momentarily, will be a spur track going off to the Iowa ammunition plant, which is just outside of Middletown, part of the U.S. Army. And there's a spur track that goes out there to the ammunition plant. We'll be passing shortly, right here on the east side of Middletown. So, welcome everybody to the stream. And there's the spur track to the ammunition plant I was just mentioning. It's kind of a Y. There's one leg that goes off that way, and then we'll see the other one coming back in here in a minute. And there it is. Don't know how much rail traffic actually goes up there now. There's a siding here on our right. And we are rapidly approaching Burlington. First, and then the actual town of Burlington. Now, on the north side of the tracks, which we will not see from this side, is the old BNSF West Burlington shops. They closed those down about 20 years ago now, but the shops are all still there. That was a place where they overhauled locomotives, worked on locomotives and equipment. And that's been shut down for over 20 years now, believe it or not. Coming into West Burlington now. Welcome everybody to the stream. Got 11 people watching right now. And we're going to go through some of these trees into West Burlington as we are speeding right into town. We'll be doing all of 79 until we get about to where the mall is in West Burlington, and then we'll start slowing down as we weave our way down towards the Mississippi River Valley and the Burlington Station. So it might be a little hard to see here for a few moments as we get down in there. As you can start to see, we are already starting to slow down.
Now you guys down here making second call for lunch. This is our second call for lunch.
Yeah, and I guess you could say I'm having lunch right now. There's a Railworks work vehicle there in the sidings. Having one of those famous Amtrak Hebrew National hot dogs right now in the lounge car. This is the lower level of the lounge. And that little track that branched off right there kind of goes down to some industries in West Burlington. Don't know how much use it still sees, but it might be a little hard to see as we come through here, down into the depths of downtown Burlington, where the station is. And the station will be on this side of the tracks. We come into downtown. Kind of pan the camera a little bit so you can see more of the less blurry there. So this is the lower level of the lounge car, where you can get food. It's just right up there in front of me. And there's a few seats down here, not very many. Most of them are used by the crew now. And if you purchase something in the lounge, you can sit down here for a while you eat it. I really haven't spent a whole lot of time in the lower level of Sightseer Lounge, but it's pretty crowded up top right now. It's already starting to be some color in the trees out here in the woods as we approach downtown Burlington.
No, they said that they don't do something. I mean, they stopped.
And when we depart Burlington, maybe we'll go check out the back of the train and maybe film out the back window.
Yeah, if Brian wants to go with me, then that's fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, Burlington, Iowa will be our next station stop. Burlington, Iowa coming up next. Make sure you have everything center of your car and down the stairs for the exit. Burlington, Iowa coming up next.
We hit it here, right here. Yeah, that's the way. This is how fast we're going to go all the way into the station. It's the speed limit into the town. No, when we go into Mendota, we also do a speed limit.
I don't know what Mendota is.
Right here. So when you see Brockway, you start seeing this, that's when you start making your way back. Brockway, Mechanical, the building right here says Brockway.
And we're gonna be on this side?
Yeah, on that side.
So Burlington is coming up pretty quick.
It was sore than this one.
It's just the speed limit that we get for going through the entire town.
There's no parking or anything.
And we'll really be able to see downtown as we get closer.
Going into the town, yeah.
Oh, this way.
And here we go.
Imagine we're going at this speed. We still can't stop that fast. We had a truck guy come out and got hit.
There's Lucas Street. Quickly, we're going to flip ourselves around here so we can maybe get a picture of our train curving through as we approach the Burlington station. This is the lower level of the lounge car. And here we go. This is downtown Burlington.
Yeah, could I get another key that should be.
See these really old warehouse buildings through here. Can't really capture it in the picture, but now Burlington is a quiet zone, so we pull into town pretty quietly now.
Well, you're too. Thank you.
And we should get a pretty good picture of our train curving through here as we approach the station.
It's crazy that this place used to be popular at the point.
Steam engine vlog.
Like, can we done one of those?
Of the old outdated technology.
Yeah.
But they look so cool.
And we are arriving into the Burlington station now. We have passengers heading back to the coaches right now.
Probably Coke.
Burlington station has been renovated significantly, and used to be this old waiting room here on this side that we're looking at right now was blocked off and you couldn't get in there, and it was really run down. But past few years they've done a lot of work on it, and now it is open again. I haven't been in there for probably 6 years or so, but it looks really nice inside. And this rounded end that you can see here was actually back in the Burlington days, the CB&Q Railroad. That was an old Greyer's restaurant. And at one time, somebody was trying to restart the restaurant back in there, but nothing's become of it yet. But yeah, the old waiting room has been completely renovated, and it's really nice. We are here in Burlington now. Galesburg will be our next stop. That's where we'll be getting off. Probably just about another 45 minutes from now. And SD70EC 4849 commented it's an ALC 42 leading. No, but there are two of them on this train. They are trailing in the third and fourth. There are four engines. Two P42s on the front, and there are two brand new ALC 42s in the lash-up. They're the third and fourth engines on the train today. The train that we're on right now stopped in Burlington. I'm just now noticing, it looks like they took out the old siding track that used to be right in front of the station. I don't know if they took out the whole thing, but I guess we'll find out here as we depart Burlington. It's never a very long stop. And our next point of
Ladies and
interest...
gentlemen, leaving Burlington, Iowa, we'll cross over the Mississippi River Bridge here, leaving the state of Iowa, entering the state of Illinois. Our next station stop, Galesburg, Illinois, in 45 minutes. That'll be your final opportunity for a smoke or fresh air break. Galesburg, 45 minutes.
Yeah, it does appear that they have taken out that old siding track in front of the station. That's too bad. Years ago in 2013, the Amtrak exhibit train was parked on that track when it came to town. Still a part of it is still here, the siding. There's some locomotives. A few Evolutions and a Dash 9 and another ES44DC right there. And the BNSF train yard is behind us, which camera-wise is actually on our left side, directly behind where we're looking at right now. Left side of the tracks. On the right side is the BNSF kind of work offices, things like that.
632, you up? 632, you up?
And the Mississippi River is coming shortly. Some old work cars back in there, old crossing signals and some maintenance of way pieces there. Now we might be able to look over here. We can kind of get a glimpse of the bridge that we are going to be crossing in a couple minutes.
This part's closed right here.
And the track that we are going to see here momentarily that's branching off is BNSF's Hannibal subdivision. This is where it begins. And it goes down towards Keokuk, Hannibal, down through West Quincy before Hannibal, and all the way down on the Iowa and Missouri side of the Mississippi River to St. Louis. And that's BNSF's Hannibal subdivision. That's where it begins, and as it curves off, we are approaching the Mississippi River. Now, there used to be an old swing bridge here. It's now been replaced with a more modern lifting bridge that was put in about a decade ago. And off we go to the Mississippi River. get to the east side of the bridge here, we start to pick up speed as we reach Illinois. And at one time, there was an old track that used to branch off here and curve to the south. You can just barely see it right through the trees in there. Real briefly, you could kind of see where the grade used to be. And we'll trees here for a while yet before we get out into the flat Illinois countryside. The town we just went through in Illinois, we're kind of going through right now, as you can see real briefly through the trees, is Gulfport, Illinois. And there's some few little lakes and ponds along the river here. We have just crossed tracks. We're now on Main 1. We might see some opposing trains on this side. Yeah, I'm just filming. Yeah. Just all different trains. Ottumwa. No, I've been out there before. I've gotten a lot of it, so.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Danny Clark making third call. We're going to be wrapping up our lunch service so we can make preparations for the arrival of the third largest city. Just get third call for lunch. Here we go.
right, in a few minutes we will head up towards the top of the train and walk back to the back and maybe get some pictures out the back window.
Deb, whatever she wants, I'll pay for it.
Jimmy wants everything on the news.
Always together.
What's that? Galesburg.
Are you sure?
Forgetting what the name of this first town is that we go through it. Altoona, maybe? Actually, I think that's a couple of towns through here before we get to Monmouth, and then directly east of Monmouth will be Galesburg. Welcome, James. Welcome to the stream. To now. SD70AC 4049 lives in New York City. Welcome. He was commenting a little earlier in the stream about the Charger engines that are on today's train. Okay, we're gonna get ready to go back up to the top of the train now and walk back through the coaches. Alrighty.
If they're just going to Milwaukee.
Going to someplace across.
Wisconsin. It's right before they cross to the cross.
All right, we're going to go ahead, head back up the train as we speed through western Illinois. Off we go. Excuse me.
Appreciate it. We are one of the best seats in the house, on the back of the train. There's a mixed freight on the other track there that we're overtaking. That may very well be one of the trains that goes to Lincoln, Nebraska. Probably the Lingale train. My guess is, yes, we are. We're changing tracks. Overtake that freight. That's CP 1896 control point. A-Train asked me a few comments ago, did you choose today since there were chargers on the train? Well, no, actually, this had this planned a few weeks out. Just pure chance that those engines were on the front of today's train. I didn't know they would be, so I guess, in a way, this is the first time that I've ridden on an Amtrak train that has the long-distance chargers in the lash-up, even though they're not running. But they are trailing brand new engines on today's train. When I get to Galesburg, I'm planning on taking some video of the train as it leaves. Some
actual video. Probably end the stream before then. But if the weather holds out, if it looks anything like this when we get to Galesburg, I'm going to plan on doing another live stream. Some trains in Galesburg, perhaps. Really picking up speed now. Now, as we overtook that train back there, BNSF typically does a pretty good job of keeping this train going right along on its run between Chicago and Denver and vice versa. Everything else is on Union Pacific, and they don't do quite as well sometimes, but this train is running a lot better than it has in the past. I'll take an hour and a half late over 5, 6, 7 hours late, which has been more often than not in the past couple of months. Now that it's October, the work on the tracks is kind of starting to slow down and getting into the winter months. Not as many delays along the railroad anymore, as most of the extensive track work happens in the summer. That is Kirkwood, Illinois, that we just went through. Kirkwood, Illinois. I'm trying to think of the name of the town that we went through before then. Don't remember. But I'm pretty sure the next town will be Monmouth. A little bit of the old highway over there to our left, as the current Highway 34 bypasses Kirkwood. You can see we meet back up with it there. About 25 years ago, when I was a lot younger, we were going to Chicago to see a Cubs game. We were driving on Highway 34, and we got out right about through here, and I took a picture with my old film camera of a stopped BNSF train, just about right at this point here. That was in, pretty sure it was 1999. So this is BNSF's Ottumwa subdivision, the very eastern end of the Ottumwa subdivision. Double-track main line that runs from Galesburg west to Creston, Iowa, and becomes the Creston subdivision to Lincoln. The main line ultimately goes all the way across Nebraska and into Colorado to Denver. And east of Galesburg, it goes all the way to Chicago. The Ottumwa subdivision is the portion of line between Galesburg through Ottumwa to Creston. Feel the train slowing just a little bit, and that's because we are approaching Monmouth, Illinois. The track separates just a little bit, and there's a slight little S-curve that we go through in Monmouth, if I remember correctly. That's why we have to slow down. I don't know why the track spaces out here. It's been double track for, countless decades. Maybe even approaching a century of being double tracked. So I don't know if there was a siding in the middle at one time or what the deal was. Highway 34 and US Highway 67 on the edge of Monmouth as we come into town. Monmouth, Illinois. Well, sounds like we got a freight train coming. Maybe. Sounded like it anyways. Maybe it's just our train bouncing off the buildings. Really sounded like a freight horn. Guess we'll find out. Yeah, I think it might be us. Although there is a signals have a clear for something going west. I think this is ABS territory, so that may or may not mean anything. Yeah, I think that was just our train bouncing off the sound, bouncing off the buildings. Galesburg will be next at about 15 miles, give or take. between Monmouth and Galesburg is a town called Cameron. And this road actually connects Monmouth with Cameron. I've driven it before, several years ago. It'd be a pretty good road to get a train on, to get some pictures of trains. Now in Cameron is a pretty famous railroad junction. It's a meeting up point with this line, which is the old Burlington Northern. Before that it was Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy. And the main line of the old Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe. Both lines are now BNSF, of course. And it's now the BNSF's Southern Transcon. Very busy line. We'll be going overhead in Cameron. And there's a connecting track called Cameron Junction, where trains can switch from one line to the other. Amtrak's Southwest Chief uses that connection. Because today it runs on this line, east of Cameron all the way to Chicago, just like the Zephyr. That will be in a few miles, Cameron, Illinois. Past milepost 174, so we're really just from this point, if we were staying on this train, it would just be a little over 2 hours to Chicago. On this road, there is a very narrow underpass where it goes underneath the old Santa Fe overpass over these tracks. And it's pretty neat, but it's very narrow. I think it might actually be a one-lane underpass on this road once we get to Cameron. And it's a little dangerous too, because you've got, and there it is. So it is one lane. And there's the old Santa Fe. It's over the top of us. As you can see there, the bridge abutments from the Santa Fe on either side kind of prevent you from seeing. So you have to be really careful going under that bridge on the road. This is Cameron, Illinois. And shortly off to our right, we will see the Y tracks for the Cameron Junction. Which is just on the east side of town. And that allows trains to switch from this line onto the old Santa Fe and back. That's control point 1705, which you hear mentioned a lot when trains are getting track warrants to head west towards Iowa. There's the first leg of the Y of Cameron connection. And then here's the other leg of the Y. This is the one the Southwest Chief uses. I think we might be changing tracks here. Into Galesburg, we will actually go down to single track, as one of these tracks branches off to go to the Galesburg train yard. See, we go down to single track now. There are actually two tracks that go off towards the yard. That's at the Graham control point. And we're single track into Galesburg. I suppose at one time this was probably double track. Probably just need one, because a lot of the freight traffic goes through the yard instead of running on this to the station.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next station stop of Galesburg coming up here in less than 10 minutes. Galesburg will be next. Make sure you have everything. Set every car down the stairs for the exit. Galesburg, also our last, final opportunity for a smoke or fresh air break. We'll be here just a few minutes, folks. Stay close, listen for the Onboard and the engine blow, the whistle blow from the engine. Galesburg coming up here in less than 10 minutes.
And that's where we'll be getting off. We'll probably be ending the stream before we actually get off the train. We'll get want to get a quick video clip of the train departing so I can get to see those new engines. Here at Clay, 2 tracks begin again. And there we have a stopped train waiting for us. The westbound empty. And the crew members getting down off of one of the first few coal cars. I wonder if they have some sort of defect or something. Into the western end of Galesburg now. And off to our left, we will be seeing some of the first remnants, first indications of the big BNSF train yard that is off to the southwest of the Galesburg station. Some industries over here on the right side. This is, I believe, Academy, Control Point Academy. Coming in to the Galesburg station. So a little later on, probably around 3 o'clock or so, be on the lookout for another stream. Be doing some train watching here in Galesburg. There's the entrance to the train yard there, so we can see all the tracks coming in. This is a very busy place for train watching. Lots of action all the time. So hopefully we'll have some good luck later on. And with that, we're pulling into the station. We're gonna hop off the train. So thank you everybody for watching, and we'll see you later about 3 o'clock this afternoon for some more. So long, folks.